In 2011, a 16-year-old went diving in Greece and found more plastic than fish. Scientists had studied this problem for 50 years and declared it impossible to clean. And this teenager started a mission that has now removed 45 million kilograms of plastic from the world's oceans. This is the story of how one teenager proved decades of experts wrong and built a system that actually works. Right now, between Hawaii and California, there is a zone of ocean with no borders on any map. No government controls it, no law protects it. It's called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. 1.6 million square kilometers, nearly twice the size of Texas, 3 times the size of France. But here's where your mental image is probably wrong. It's not a floating island you could walk on. It's something worse. It's a plastic soup, largely invisible, containing an estimated 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic with roughly 6 pounds of plastic for every single pound of plankton living inside it. The sun breaks that plastic down into fragments smaller than a grain of rice. Those fragments enter plankton. Plankton gets eaten by small fish. Small fish get eaten by larger fish. And those fish end up on your plate. Scientists had been studying this since the 1970s. For over 50 years, the global consensus was essentially one sentence: the Great Pacific Garbage Patch cannot be cleaned. Using traditional ships and nets, the process would take thousands of years. Humanity created this mess in decades. Solving it, apparently, would take longer than recorded civilization itself. That was the official story, until one teenager decided to test it. And what he did next, starting with literally 300 euros in his pocket, is the part the headlines always get wrong. His name is Bojan Slat. Born in 1994 in Delft, Netherlands. When he surfaced from that dive in Greece in 2011, he didn't post about it, didn't perform outrage online. He went home and asked one quiet question: why is nobody doing anything about this? Most people ask that question and scroll to the next video. Bojan Slat asked it and spent the next 3 years trying to answer it himself. He sat in his bedroom in Delft and started studying the physics of ocean currents. He mapped every previous cleanup proposal. He analyzed why each one had failed. And somewhere in those late nights, one idea arrived. So simple, so elegant, that the moment you hear it, you'll wonder why nobody thought of it before. Instead of chasing plastic across millions of square kilometers, what if you let the ocean bring the plastic to you? Ocean currents were already moving, already concentrating debris. Design a floating barrier system that works with the ocean's natural physics instead of fighting it. No massive fuel-burning fleet, no armies of workers. Just intelligent design, passive flow, and patience. It sounded almost too clean, which is exactly why the establishment dismissed it entirely. On October 5th, 2012, Bojan Slat, 18 years old, walked onto the TEDx Delft stage and delivered an 11-minute talk called "How the Oceans Can Clean Themselves." For months, nothing. And when it finally took off, it created a new problem nobody was ready for. The video sat at around 2,000 views, buried. Then, in February 2013, news outlets picked it up. Within days, the video exploded across the internet. Donations from strangers began arriving from every corner of the world. Here is the detail that hits hardest. At the moment his idea went viral, Bojan Slat had 300 euros in savings. 300 euros. Within days, $90,000 in donations had arrived, blowing past his initial crowdfunding goal in 15 days flat. He faced one decision: continue his aerospace engineering degree at Delft University of Technology, or drop out and chase the impossible. He chose the ocean, and that decision almost failed completely within the first 5 years. By October 2013, the ocean cleanup was officially founded. But here's the question nobody was asking out loud yet. Could this actually work? Or was this the most inspiring failure in environmental history, already quietly in motion? Before you assume this was just idealism with a crowdfunding page, what he did next changed the entire conversation. Before asking the world for real money, Slat demanded proof first. On June 3, 2014, the Ocean Cleanup published a 528-page feasibility study authored by approximately 70 scientists and engineers. The same day, they launched a new crowdfunding campaign. The response was massive. 38,000 donors, 160 countries, $2.2 million raised in 100 days. The most successful non-profit crowdfunding campaign in history at that time. Slat made a bold promise: clean up half the Great Pacific Garbage Patch within 10 years. But there was one thing they still didn't fully understand: what they were actually trying to clean. Then, in August 2015, the Ocean Cleanup launched the Mega Expedition, 30 vessels crossing the Pacific simultaneously, collecting more data in a single campaign than all scientific research from the previous 40 years combined. What they found shattered assumptions. The patch wasn't a solid mass. It was a ghost spread across thousands of kilometers. And most shockingly, 46% of its total mass was fishing nets. This wasn't just a consumer waste problem, it was a systemic industrial one. The goal was real, the science was solid, the money was there. Now came the real test. What happened next is the part most people never heard about, and it nearly ended everything. But there was one flaw in the system they hadn't solved yet, and it was about to break everything. System 001, nicknamed Wilson after the volleyball in the film Castaway, was deployed in September 2018. Cameras rolling. Press coverage worldwide. Global hope riding on a single floating barrier in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. For the first 2 months, Wilson collected around 2,000 kilograms of plastic. Then, the cracks appeared. Literally, the system couldn't maintain consistent speed relative to the plastic. Debris drifted in, then drifted back out. In December 2018, Wilson fractured and had to be towed back to Hawaii in pieces. Media coverage turned brutal. More than 25% of ocean plastic experts called it a bad idea outright. Not a single expert fully supported the project continuing. Lesser people walk away at this point. Slat called it an unplanned learning opportunity. And meant every word. Here's where the story shifts, because the failure contained the exact answer they needed. The team went back and found the single core problem. Wilson was moving at inconsistent speeds relative to the plastic, so debris would drift in and drift straight back out again. One problem. One fix. From that single insight came System 001B. Smaller, fitted with a parachute sea anchor to create drag, to keep the system moving at a consistent speed slower than the surrounding plastic. When deployed in 2019, it worked. On October 2, 2019, the Ocean Cleanup announced that System 001B had successfully captured and retained plastic debris, including microplastics as small as 1 millimeter. For the first time in recorded history, a man-made system was actually cleaning the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. For the first time, it was actually working. But Slat was already thinking several steps further ahead. Then the data revealed something that completely changed the mission and made the Ocean Cleanup itself almost secondary. Just 1,000 rivers, roughly 1% of all rivers on Earth, are responsible for 80% of all plastic entering the ocean. Think about what that means. You don't need to chase plastic across 361 million square kilometers of open ocean. You need to intercept it at the source, at the concentrated, predictable points where rivers meet the sea. Stop the flow before it starts. From this, the Interceptor was born. An autonomous, solar-powered floating platform anchored to riverbanks. A diagonal barrier uses the river's own kinetic energy to guide floating debris into a collection mouth. A conveyor belt runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, lifting plastic from the water continuously. Capacity: between 50,000 and 100,000 kilograms of plastic per day. The results were staggering. In April 2023, a new interceptor on the Rio Motagua in Guatemala became the most prolific site in the organization's history, pulling 10 million kilograms of trash from the river in its first year alone. Then in April 2024, a single storm event filled the interceptor barricade with 1.4 million kilograms of waste in a matter of hours. Not per month, per storm. The strategy had shifted completely, no longer just cleaning consequences, now cutting off the pipeline at the source. And then 2025 delivered numbers that nobody, not even the team, had predicted at this scale. In 2025 alone, the ocean cleanup removed over 25 million kilograms of plastic from aquatic environments. In a single year, that brought the cumulative total past 45 million kilograms. As of February 2026, it has already climbed beyond 47 million. Then, just weeks ago, the audacious project committed $121 million, the single largest donation in the organization's history, to fund the 30 Cities program, 30 of the world's most polluting urban waterways across Asia and the Americas. The goal? Stop 1/3 of all river plastic from reaching the ocean before the end of this decade. The ultimate target remains 90% of all floating ocean plastic removed by 2040. The experts said it would take thousands of years. It took one person who refused to accept the story he was given. 300 euros. A late-night idea about letting the ocean do the work, and 14 years of refusing to stop. From 300 euros to 47 million kilograms removed. Next goal, 90% of ocean plastic gone by 2040. If this story hit you, like and subscribe for more. The next video covers another problem the world says has no solution. It's on your screen now. Click it.